What's up, everybody? If you're here, you already know what kind of gamer you are, the kind who wants to play something that feels like a warm cup of tea on a rainy day. So let's get into it. inKONBINI, one store, many stories. So picture this. You're a college student in 1993 Japan, spending your summer working the night shift at your aunt's small-town convenience store while she's away. That's the whole setup of inKONBINI, and honestly, it works really well. You play as Makoto Hayakawa, and your shift involves stocking shelves, tidying displays, making sure product labels are facing the right way, and helping whoever walks through the door. The genius here is that the tiniest details actually matter. Where you place an item or how you respond to a customer can ripple into the next day's events. Regulars come in with their own stories, quiet moments unfold between tasks, and the whole thing just breathes this soft, slice-of-life vibe that's rare to find in games. There's no timer, no pressure, no way to lose. Botany Manor puts you in the shoes of Arabella Green, a retired botanist in 1890 England who's returned to her sprawling Somerset manor to finish writing her book on rare and forgotten plants. The whole game is a first-person puzzle experience set across the manor and its gardens, where you're searching for clues, old letters, pamphlets, research notes scattered throughout the rooms to figure out the exact conditions each plant needs to bloom. Some need a specific temperature, others respond to birdsong, altitude, or light levels. You adjust the environment, plant the seed, and watch it grow. Every new plant you successfully sprout unlocks more of the manor. The puzzles are logical and satisfying without being frustrating, the kind where you feel genuinely clever when you figure it out. Alongside the plant puzzles, the game quietly tells Arabella's story through the notes you find, touching on what it meant to be a woman in science during the Victorian era. Tiny Bookshop is exactly what it sounds like, and it's wonderful. You've left everything behind to open a secondhand bookshop in a converted trailer in the fictional seaside town of Buxtonbury. Every day you pick a new location around town, stock your shelves with different genres, and watch customers trickle in. The crowd changes depending on where you set up shop. Different spots attract different readers. Some customers will ask for recommendations, giving you hints about their taste, like their favorite genre, books they've loved, or how recently it was published, and you have to match them to the right book quickly. Decorating your trailer is also a thing. Plants, candles, shelves, and the items you add actually affect how customers behave and unlock new mechanics over time. The game wraps all of this in a quiet narrative about getting to know the quirky locals of Buxtonbury and uncovering the town's hidden history. Animal Crossing New Horizons drops you on a deserted island where you build your village from scratch, placing homes, shops, bridges, and gardens exactly where you want them. Every day brings new things to do: fishing, bug catching, fossil digging, talking to your animal neighbors, shopping for furniture, and decorating your home inside and out. Tom Nook loans you the resources to get started, and slowly the island evolves from an empty plot to a full, thriving community. The game runs on real time, so seasons change, holidays happen, and specific visitors show up on certain days. There's no rush, no enemies, no fail state. Just your island, your pace, and hundreds of hours of things to discover and collect. It became a cultural phenomenon when it launched in 2020, for a reason: it gave people a gentle world to retreat into. Even years later, it holds up as one of the most complete and satisfying cozy experiences on the platform.
Winter Burrow is cozy on the surface, but it's got a little bite to it, and that's what makes it interesting. You're a mouse who's returned to your childhood home in the forest after your parents passed away working in the city. The burrow is a wreck, and your aunt, who was supposed to be there, is gone. So you start fixing things up, gathering sticks, rocks, hay from the frozen wilderness, repairing your crafting table, unlocking new tools, building furniture for your home. The survival side is real. Your warmth and hunger deplete while you're outside, and hostile insects will actually come after you. But dying isn't a thing here. The game is forgiving enough that the danger creates tension without punishing you. You knit warm clothes, bake pies, restore rooms, and slowly meet neighboring woodland creatures who help you along the way. There's a mystery around what happened to your aunt that keeps you moving through the story. Coffee Talk Tokyo is the newest entry in the beloved Coffee Talk series, and this time, the late-night cafe has moved from Seattle to Tokyo. You play as the barista, running a small coffee shop in a version of Tokyo where humans and yokai, supernatural creatures from Japanese folklore, coexist and unwind after long days. Over 15 nights, regulars come in and share their lives with you over drinks. The mechanics are the same gentle loop. Listen carefully, brew the right drink based on hints in the conversation, and build rapport with each character. Get the order right and new story paths open up. The game introduces cold drinks and sprinkle stencils for latte art, and adds Tomoda Chill, an in-game social network, where you can scroll through character posts to uncover hidden story details. The cast includes a retired Kappa salaryman, a recently deceased girl figuring out the afterlife, and the barista's assistant dealing with ghosts from his past. Yoshi's Crafted World is pure joy packaged into a platformer. The whole game is built to look like it was made from cardboard, felt, yarn, and everyday objects. Tin cans as wheels, paper cups as obstacles, egg cartons as platforms. Yoshi travels through these handmade dioramas, throwing eggs, fluttering through the air, and flipping stages around to explore the back sides of levels, where new paths and hidden items wait. The story is simple. Bowser Jr. scattered magical gems across the world, and Yoshi sets off to get them back. But the story really isn't the point. The point is how delightful every single level looks and feels, and how much there is to find. Each stage has collectibles tucked into clever spots, costumes to dress Yoshi in, and bonus challenges to complete. It also has a co-op mode, where a second player can jump in as a different colored Yoshi. It's gentle enough for younger players, but has enough depth to keep older gamers busy. Strange Antiquities takes the formula from its predecessor, Strange Horticulture, and swaps plants for cursed relics. You're the apprentice left in charge of an occult shop in the gloomy town of Undermere, while your employer investigates something that's gone very wrong out there. Customers come in every day with problems: an ailing loved one, a journey ahead, a curse that needs lifting, and you match them to the right artifact from your shelves using an encyclopedia. The puzzle is in the cross-referencing. The codex gives you clues about weight, symbols, and magical properties, and you have to find the item that fits. Guess wrong too many times, and a fear meter fills up, leading to a dice minigame. Some choices have lasting consequences for the story. The game also opens up into something bigger mid-playthrough, asking you to venture out on the map to acquire new items. The atmosphere is perfectly crafted. Rain on the windows, a shop bell, a cat you can pet. Dinkum is the Australian answer to Animal Crossing, and it genuinely holds its own. You arrive at a remote island town and work with local residents to turn it into a thriving community. The gameplay loop mixes farming, fishing, mining, bug catching, base building, and crafting in a way that feels rewarding and layered. You earn licenses from the town's permit office to unlock new activities: a fishing license, a hunting license, a farming license, which gives the progression a satisfying structure. The game is set in an Australian bush environment, so you're catching kangaroos, hunting crocs, gathering boomerangs, and building your town against a backdrop of eucalyptus trees and red earth. It has a full day-night cycle, changing seasons, and a real-time calendar that affects what's available. The NPC villages have personalities and routines, and building relationships with them adds to the loop. It's a deep game that can eat dozens of hours easily. Outbound. Set in a utopian near future with a Firewatch-esque painterly art style, you drive across biomes collecting natural resources, crafting furniture for your van, and farming plants on the roof. The van runs on renewable energy solar panels, wind turbines, water mills, and you power your growing list of crafting machines by managing those energy sources smartly. You can fish, cook, keep bees, tend a garden, and recycle junk you find in the wild. The set and forget crafting system means you pop raw materials in a machine and come back to processed goods later, which keeps things relaxed. Up to 4 players can hop in the van together in co-op, which turns it into a genuinely fun, shared experience. The lack of a strong narrative is the main thing it's missing, but the exploration loop and the satisfaction of upgrading your rolling home is deeply satisfying for people who love that kind of slow build gameplay. Unpacking. The entire game is about unpacking boxes in different homes across different stages of a woman's life, from a child's bedroom to college dorms, shared apartments, and eventually her own house. You drag items out of boxes and place them wherever they fit. Books on shelves, toiletries in the bathroom, kitchen tools in the drawers. Get an item in a sensible spot and it turns white. Otherwise, it glows pink and you have to move it. What's brilliant is that the objects themselves tell the story. You never see a single line of dialogue or cutscene, but through what appears in each move and what doesn't, you piece together who this person is and what's happening in her life. It's quiet, meditative storytelling that lands in a way few games manage. The pixel art is warm and detailed, and the sound design, every item making a satisfying thud or clink when placed, is half the experience. Animal Well is not a typical cozy game, but it absolutely belongs here. It's a 2D exploration game set entirely inside a dense, mysterious well filled with strange creatures, hidden passages, and puzzles buried so deep you might not find them for hours. You play as a small blob, navigating a dark and beautiful world, collecting items that open up new routes and abilities. The art style is gorgeous. Every room is handcrafted, dimly lit, and crawling with atmosphere. There's no combat, no words, no explanation. The game trusts you completely to observe, experiment, and figure things out. Some of the secrets in this game are so deeply hidden that the player community was still uncovering them months after launch. It's meditative in a way that active challenge games rarely are, because the challenge is just paying attention and being curious. Spiritfarer is one of those games that sneaks up on you emotionally. You play as Stella, a young woman who takes over from Karen as the ferry master of the dead. It's your job to sail the afterlife seas, build homes on your boat for spirits waiting to cross over, and take care of them until they're ready to say goodbye. Each spirit is based on a different animal and carries a story built around real human experiences: grief, estrangement, regret, illness, letting go. The gameplay blends farming, crafting, cooking, building, and platforming, all done at a genuinely relaxed pace. You grow food in your onboard garden, cook meals for your passengers, gather materials on islands, and slowly expand your boat into a floating village. The relationship you build with each character makes their eventual farewell genuinely hit you. It's rare that a game makes you cry, but Spiritfarer gets there with so many players. Date Everything is completely ridiculous and completely wonderful. You lose your job to AI, and a mysterious package arrives at your door containing magical glasses called Date Viators that bring every object in your house to life as a dateable character. Your TV, your shower, your alarm clock, your bed, your existential dread. All of them have names, personalities, backstories, and their own story arcs to unlock. There are 100 characters to date, all fully voiced by a massive cast of voice actors. Each day, you get 5 uses of the Date Viators, which adds a light strategy layer to who you prioritize. Your social stats, like sass, charm, and confidence, level up as you date, and those stats unlock conversations with other characters, creating a push-and-pull web of relationships. The writing is dense with wordplay and puns, and the sheer creativity of the character designs, Jean-Loup Pissoir, the French rap toilet, or Scandelabra, the overdramatic chandelier, is hilarious.
Love. What a gas. I believe everyone here should be friends.
After awakening an object for the first time, you get to speak with them here.
Fantasy Life is one of those games that gives you a lot and asks very little in return in terms of skill. Set on the tropical island of Ginormosia, Moja, you help a young girl named Pam figure out why the island's past and present are becoming tangled. The real hook, though, is the life system you choose from 14 different lives, like Paladin, Angler, Cook, Miner, Carpenter, and more, and you can switch between them freely as you play. Every life has its own skill tree and progression, so you could spend time as a blacksmith forging equipment, then switch to fisher to catch dinner, then become an alchemist to craft potions. The island itself is huge and packed with areas to explore, enemies to fight, and materials to gather. You can also build up a settlement that grows as you play. The story balances lighthearted humor with genuine heart, and the world has that warm, colorful RPG charm that makes it easy to get lost in for 80+ hours without even noticing. A short hike. You're Claire, a young bird on holiday at a national park called Hawk Peak, trying to reach the mountain's summit to get cell service for an important call. And that's it. You explore the mountain at your own pace, swimming in lakes, talking to hikers, finding hidden trails, helping other visitors with small tasks. The movement feels incredible. You glide, run, and eventually fly with a lightness that makes traversal genuinely pleasurable. The island is small enough that you never feel lost, but big enough to keep surprising you. There are side characters with their own small stories and personalities. The pixel art is warm and soft. It takes about an hour and a half to reach the summit, but the world is built so well that most people spend way longer just wandering around. It's a game about the journey in the most literal and meaningful sense, and it leaves you feeling genuinely good afterward in a way that's hard to explain. Story of Seasons. Grand Bazaar is a remake of the beloved Harvest Moon Grand Bazaar from the DS, rebuilt and expanded for modern platforms. You move to the town of Zephyr and revive an old windmill farm on the outskirts of town. The farming loop is classic: till the soil, plant seeds, water, harvest, raise animals. But the twist that makes Grand Bazaar special is the weekly market. Every week, you set up a stall in the bazaar and sell your goods directly to townspeople and visitors. How you price things, how well stocked you are, and how you interact with customers all affects your earnings and reputation. This market system turns the usual ship everything at end of day farming routine into something more active and social. The town has a cast of characters to befriend and potential marriage candidates to romance. The crafting, fishing, and mining systems add plenty of depth on top of the farming.
Yeah!
LOCOMOTO is Animal Crossing, but on a train. And the concept is as great as it sounds. You create your custom animal character and take charge of a train in the dying town of Baronpire. Your job is to travel through the countryside, pick up passengers, help them reach their destinations, complete quests for residents, deliver mail, and craft furniture for your wagons using materials you gather along the way. The crafting uses a Minecraft-style grid system where you place items in specific patterns to make seats, coffee machines, decorative objects, and more. And these items directly affect passenger interactions and unlock new story moments. Each passenger has their own backstory. Some are searching for family, others are carrying quiet regrets. The writing handles these small human moments with a surprising elegance. You can decorate your train wagons and paint the exterior, and the character customization has tons of options. Super Mario RPG is a classic that deserves its place on any cozy gaming list. Originally released in 1996, this remake brings the whole game back with upgraded visuals and updated mechanics while keeping everything that made it beloved. The story kicks off when Bowser kidnaps Princess Peach, standard stuff. But things immediately go sideways when a giant sword crashes into Bowser's castle, and a new enemy called Smitty takes over. Mario teams up with unexpected allies, including Bowser and Peach themselves, to take back the Star Road. The combat is turn-based but active. You time button presses during attacks and blocks to deal extra damage or reduce incoming hits, which keeps every fight engaging rather than passive. The writing is funny and charming throughout, with tons of humor baked into the dialogue and situations. Each area has its own personality, and side quests and optional bosses add meaningful content beyond the main story. Cozy Grove is a game designed to be played in short, daily sessions, and that structure is built right into the core of how it works. You're a spirit scout who washes ashore on a haunted island and sets up camp. The island is populated by bear ghosts who are stuck there, each carrying some unresolved burden from their past life. Each day, you complete quests for them, gathering items, cooking recipes, decorating specific areas, which slowly brings color back to the island and helps each ghost find peace. The island evolves noticeably over time as you restore it, and new areas and characters unlock as you progress. The hand-drawn art is gorgeous, the ghost characters are written with genuine depth and humor, and the daily check-in structure makes it feel like tending to something rather than rushing through it. It's a game that rewards patience. Little Kitty Big City is exactly what you want from a game about being a cat. You play as a small black cat who's fallen from an apartment window somewhere high up in a Tokyo-inspired city and needs to find a way home. The city is built as a playground for cat behavior. You knock things off ledges, distract dogs, zoom around corners, beg for food, wear hats, make friends with other animals, and cause small amounts of delightful chaos wherever you go. The movement feels genuinely cat-like, with the right amount of scrappiness and speed. Scattered around the city are collectible hats and side animals who give you optional mini-quests. The human characters can't understand you, so interactions with them play out in a funny and wordless way. The city itself is compact, but packed with things to find, and the vibes of just being a small creature navigating a big world are immaculate. PowerWash Simulator makes cleaning deeply satisfying in a way that makes no logical sense and yet absolutely works. You're a freelance power washer, taking on jobs around a fictional town backyards, fire trucks, playgrounds, a haunted house, a crashed spaceship, and you clean every surface until it's spotless. The game tracks dirt down to tiny individual spots, and watching years of grime disappear under your spray is genuinely addictive. There's no pressure, no timer, no fail state. You just clean at whatever pace feels right. It's meditative in the most unexpected way. Each job has a different type of satisfaction. Some are big open spaces where you need to plan your approach. Others are intricate objects with hidden dirty corners. There's even a multiplayer mode where you and a friend clean together, which turns out to be a legitimately fun co-op experience. It's also on Switch too, where it runs beautifully. Wylde Flowers. You move to the coastal town of Fairhaven to spend time with your ailing grandmother and slowly get drawn into the town's hidden magical community. The game has all the farming fundamentals: crops, animals, fishing, crafting, but the witch mechanics add a layer that feels genuinely fresh. You brew potions, cast spells, fly your broomstick at night to secret locations, and participate in magical seasonal rituals with a coven of local witches. The story is strong and involves real stakes without ever losing its cozy warmth. The cast of romanceable characters is notably inclusive and well-written, with multiple LGBTQ+ options and genuinely interesting relationship arcs. The art is colorful and vibrant. For players who've done Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley and want something with a bit more narrative backbone and magical flavor, Wylde Flowers fills that exact gap.
Just bring me some ingredients. Some mushrooms should do it.
Is This Seat Taken is a logic puzzle game about seating arrangements, and it turns out that sounds way more boring than it actually is. You follow Nat, an aspiring actor shaped like a rhombus, traveling around the world to meet their hero. In each location, a movie theater, a bus, a boat, a wedding reception, a taxi, you're given a group of characters with specific preferences and told to seat them all in a way that makes everyone happy. One person needs a window seat. Two characters can't sit next to each other. Someone nearby forgot to shower. A loud music listener needs to be away from light sleepers. The early puzzles are easy, but as you move through different cities, the conditions stack up and require real thinking. It's never frustrating, though the solutions always feel fair. The art style is cute, the story is sweet, and the pick-up-and-play nature of it makes it excellent for short sessions on the go. A great palate cleanser between bigger games. The original Coffee Talk is where the series began, and it's still a fantastic experience. Set in a fantasy version of Seattle, where humans and mythical creatures, elves, orcs, werewolves, mermaids, live side by side, you're the owner of a late-night coffee shop that becomes a gathering place for people working through the difficult parts of their lives. Every night brings in a handful of regulars who sit, talk, and occasionally need a drink to open up. You brew beverages using a 3-ingredient mixing system, trying to figure out what each person needs based on the hints in their conversation. The visual novel format means the gameplay is slow and dialogue-heavy, which is exactly the point. The stories deal with real themes: creative burnout, racism, relationship strain, identity, and the writing handles all of it with genuine care. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book is a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive and a genuinely fresh take on the Yoshi formula. A talking encyclopedia named Mr. E crash lands on Yoshi's island, and his pages are full of creatures he can no longer remember. Yoshi dives into the book to investigate, exploring colorful 2D levels that look like storybook illustrations. Instead of a traditional platformer, the game is built around creature discovery. Every level is filled with different animals that react in unique ways to Yoshi's actions. You jump on them, lick them with your tongue, carry them on your back, throw eggs at them, and observe what happens. Each new interaction unlocks an entry in Mr. E's encyclopedia and opens new paths or reveals new creatures. You can't die, there's no fail state. The whole experience is about curiosity and playfulness. Bowser Jr. keeps showing up with his own agenda, which adds a light narrative thread. Untitled Goose Game is the most delightful experience of doing something wrong you'll find in gaming. You are a goose. You have a checklist. The checklist says things like steal a man's keys, make a child fall, break a groundskeeper's prize collection, trap someone's hat under a rake. And you go do those things. The game takes place across a small English village with a handful of areas, and in each one you figure out how to complete your goose objectives using the limited but perfectly designed set of goose abilities: honking, flapping, grabbing things in your beak, crouching, running. The residents react realistically with frustration, panic, or resigned defeat, which makes every successful bit of chaos feel hilarious. The level design is smartly built so that solutions click into place with a satisfying logic. There's no combat, no danger, no way to fail permanently. Just a goose, a world, and an endless willingness to cause problems. Snufkin, Melody of Moominvalley is one of the most beautiful and peaceful games on the Switch. Based on the beloved Moomin stories by Tove Jansson, the game follows Snufkin as he returns to Moominvalley in spring and discovers it overrun by the park keeper and his gloomy parks that forbid all fun. The gameplay is a mix of stealth, light puzzle solving, and music. Snufkin uses his harmonica to interact with the world, calming frightened creatures, luring birds and animals, opening paths, and ultimately organizing the Hattyfatteners and other critters into a musical rebellion against the rules. The game doesn't use violence or confrontation. Every challenge is solved through observation, timing, and the power of music and kindness. The art captures the soft, nostalgic watercolor tone of the original illustrations, and the orchestrated soundtrack is stunning. Even if you've never read a Moomin book in your life, the warmth of this world wraps around you instantly. Stardew Valley. You inherit your grandfather's old farm in Pelican Town after burning out on your corporate job. And from there, you build your life however you want. Farm crops and raise animals, mine for ores and gems, fish in rivers and the ocean. Build relationships with the town's 12 residents, donate artifacts to the museum, explore the dungeon floors of the mines, restore the community center, and eventually fall in love and start a family if you want. The game asks absolutely nothing of you in terms of pace. You can focus entirely on decorating your farm and never touch the mines. You can rush the main story or take 4 in-game years to do anything at all. The characters are written with depth and real emotional arcs that unfold over seasons. The pixel art is warm and expressive. The day structure, wake up, decide what matters today, sleep, is deeply satisfying in a way that mirrors real life without the anxiety. Pokemon Pokopia. Co-developed by Game Freak and Omega Force, the Dragon Quest Builders 2 team, it launched on Nintendo Switch 2 in March 2026 and immediately became one of the highest-rated Pokemon games of all time. You play as a Ditto that has transformed into a human, awakening in a post-disaster version of the Kanto region, where humans have evacuated and Pokemon have scattered. Working alongside Professor Tangrowth, your mission is to restore each devastated biome, restoring buildings, growing gardens, creating habitats to attract Pokemon back, and eventually bring life back to the world. The mechanics blend Animal Crossing's slow, community-building warmth with Dragon Quest Builders' satisfying sandbox crafting. You learn moves from befriended Pokemon and use them as tools. Bulbasaur's leafage to add greenery, Squirtle's water gun to hydrate plants. Every Pokemon has a personality, preferences, and requests. "30 cozy games that'll keep you warm no matter what mood you're in." Drop a comment and tell me which one you're playing right now, or which one surprised you the most. And if you found something new to add to your wish list from this video, hit that like button